Okay, let's move on to self-care. Self-care. Okay, this is really about healthy living in general. And in the course, I kind of go deeper into kind of health coaching type stuff. But for today, we're just going to pick out one thing, and that is nourish and hydrate. Nourish and hydrate. What does that mean? Eating and drinking. Okay, what are you eating and what are you drinking? That's going to lead to your success as a massage therapist, okay? Well, I actually like to show some examples of what to not eat or drink based on energy. Really, this is mostly about sustained energy, having lots of energy when you go into a session. Why? Because massage therapy is physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually demanding. And you're going to have to do how many sessions each week, each month, each year to earn a living. So energy is important, especially if you don't want to feel like crap at the end of the day, especially if you don't want to be injured or like exhausted, which leads to sometimes illness. Like, we're in the health field, right? Like, shouldn't we also be concerned about our own health and be an example of health and wellness? Again, this is about your own health. This is about energy that you're bringing to your sessions, because like I said, without the bells and whistles, it's your energy mostly why people are coming to you in the first place. Okay, so you have to have like a lot to give. And our lifestyle either gives us energy or it drains our energy. So what are things that are draining? Okay, so let's talk about nourishment and food and nutrition in a very general way. Blood sugar, balancing blood sugar. If you have like a spike and a crash, food coma, you're not going to want to go into session if you're just like low blood sugar, okay? So eating in a way that has a balanced amount of protein, fat, and carb at each meal so that you feel balanced in blood sugar and you have a proper amount of calories and nutrients, okay? We're looking for nutrient-dense foods. Processed foods, junk foods, fast foods are like pretty much empty. Not only are they empty in nutrition, they actually deplete nutrients from your body. They really shouldn't be considered food. It's just some other category of like junk, like it's not food. Okay. We need like quality proteins and quality carbohydrates and fats that are nutrient dense, that are not full of chemicals and who knows what, right? Because we're looking for energy. We're looking for high quality energy. So balancing your blood sugar. What's an example of like how this is awful? I remember I had a day of 6 sessions and I had a lunch break. Some people don't get lunch breaks, but I did schedule one for myself. And I don't know what got into me, but I really wanted like a big plate of pasta for lunch, right? Pretty much just pasta. I don't even know if there was any protein in that meal, but man, it was delicious. And then afterwards, I was tired, like needed to take a nap, tired. But too bad, because I didn't give myself time for a nap. I had a session. I had 3 sessions after that. And I just remember like dragging so hard, like just really had a hard time getting through those sessions. And it was not my best work. And I was not in the best mood. And I don't know, to me, you have to have successful sessions that lead to more feelings of success. In other words, success begets success. Failure leads to more failure. So I felt like a failure because I was like not in the mood to work. I was tired. I was exhausted. It was because I had low blood sugar and food coma. I had the spike and then the crash, basically. So that's an example of like what not to eat. I'm not a big fan of caffeine and like energy drinks to power through. I suppose I could have done that. I don't know. I'm in my 40s now, you guys. You can kind of get away with that in your 20s, maybe when you're younger, but heavy amounts of caffeine leads to adrenal burnout. It's really it's not ideal to rely on that. And also, I'm not a fan of like that jittery angst energy. Like, we want to go into session feeling grounded and centered, and like we're bringing this calming energy, right? And not an angst, jittery, hyper energy, right? That's just my opinion. Okay. So yeah, nourishment. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into nutrition, but we want to think balancing blood sugar. You want to think about high nutrient. We want to think about quality protein, carbs, and fat at each meal. And, if it's a long day and maybe you don't have time for a meal, like have the snacks, right? Have the snacks ready to go just in between sessions, before you change over the table, so that you don't crash either. So I have also heard of so many therapists just like powering through a day, barely eating anything. And it's like, you're going to feel really crappy at the end of the day. And it's not healthy. It's harsh on your system, right? That leads to burnout unnecessarily. Like, it's totally preventable. You don't have to burn out that way. Like, just eat food. Okay. Hydrate. Same thing. Have you powered through and you're like, oh my God, I didn't drink water all day? And now like you're exhausted and you have this fatigue. To me, dehydration leads to fatigue and like feeling spacey, like brain fog. It's just, and we're always trying to tell people to hydrate even after their sessions. Like, we also need to stay hydrated, whatever amount that is for you. And I do think adding a little bit of electrolytes and minerals to your water helps with that energy. Again, I'm not a big fan of powering through with caffeine. Like, honestly, just really high quality, clean, filtered water or spring water with maybe some minerals and electrolytes added. Just sip on that all day, and you're going to stay hydrated and you're going to stay balanced and clear, right? So self-care, nourish and hydrate.